Extra, extra! Read all about it! The 4-minute mile in Colorado has been broken. This is big news. It's been coming for a long time. We've been basically waiting since Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile back in 1954. We've waited a long time. It's finally happened. So let's talk about that today here on Runner's High. Forget about the intro. We don't have time for the intro. We're doing things fast today. If you haven't seen, two guys actually went ahead and broke this barrier. Joe Klecker and Ollie Hoare. Ollie, I probably butchered your last name. I'm sorry about that. Running 3:56 and 3:58 respectively. Now, I said that this has been coming a long time. And much like the 4-minute mile barrier, originally people said it can't be done, it's not physically possible, all those kinds of things. But I think this time a few more people had faith that it could actually happen. Now, there were people that tried and came close before. Previously it was a 4:01 record, dauntingly close, just annoyingly close really. But it took these two guys only a month into the formation of this new pro club in Colorado to come and actually break this barrier. What does this mean for you? Well, I guess if you don't really follow running, it doesn't mean much at all. But when we look at things, it's a big moment, right? We as runners, kind of advance together as we learn what helps the best people be better, and some of those skills that they learn we can translate down to us. Now, are you or I going to go run a sub 4-minute mile anywhere, let alone in Colorado? Probably not. I know I'm not. I can't speak for you, I guess. But it's awesome just as a running community to celebrate the best people that we have to offer, basically, and see people succeed. It's one of the things where, yes, in a race, like, it's a zero-sum game. There's always a winner and the rest are losers, so to speak. But we're all, looking at our own times and trying to improve ourselves, and it's great to be able to celebrate together and help each other, hold each other up, I guess I want to say. Now, if you haven't realized, the problem with Colorado and why it took so long to get there is that it's high elevation. There's a lack of oxygen. Now I cover oxygen and how it affects your running and all that kind of thing in a totally different video. If you haven't seen that, subscribe to the channel, hit that little red button. At the end of this video, I will include a link to that video if you're curious how oxygen affects you and what kind of the top coaches suggest on dealing with oxygen deprivation for training at high altitude, all those kind of things in that video, so stay tuned to the end. But the short version is you have less oxygen to use, meaning you can't go as fast because we need oxygen to create energy, to propel ourselves forward, and to go faster on the track in this case, because we want to have a standardized mile. Now, I did see some comments on a couple forums talking about, oh, okay, this isn't that big a deal, like it's been broken before in road races. But the person was referring to a downhill mile race, which, although is fun, isn't really a standard race. When you have to take everything out of it, into account, you have to really get rid of road races, cross-country races, because of the change in elevation throughout a race, or the lack of change of elevation. You have a non-standardized course in that format, road or cross-country. Now, I love those sports, but when we're talking about barriers to be broken, times to be broken, it all comes back to the track. It's always going to be about the track because we can measure exactly how far it is. We have a completely flat surface. The only things out of our control, and they do make a difference, especially in this case, is going to be weather. So heat, humidity, wind, all those kind of things play factors into how fast we can go on a given day, and especially how fast the best of the best are going to be able to go. So Joe and Ollie finally got this down, and they made it past that 4-minute barrier. So congratulations to them. If you know them, I'd love to have them on the Smart Athlete podcast, talk to them about it, what they're up to. But in the spirit of celebrating barriers being broken, let me know down in the comments what's something you've accomplished recently that is better than what you've done previously. I'd love to know where you are, how you are progressing in your own running, and share it with me so we can have a conversation and I can hopefully give you a little encouragement onto your next goal. I'll see you next time on the next episode of Runner's High.